The main benefit of using EndNote is being able to export the citation information so that it can help you stay organized and format your paper. There are two main ways you'll import your citations into EndNote. RIS import, which is the way that most databases format their citations, and NLM import, which is the way that PubMed formats its citations. So first I'm going to take a look at the RS import. Like I said, most databases use this, so I'll be demonstrating using the library search and CINAHL. So we'll start at the library homepage, and I'm going to do a search for gestational diabetes. Now when I use library search, it searches all of our resources, so we'll get a ton of results. So just to make it a little more tailored, I'm going to look for peer-reviewed journal articles. And then when I get some results, what I can start doing is I can start selecting the articles that I want to export over into EndNote. So let's say that the first three are the ones I'd like to export. So this little button with the numbers also is a checkbox on the left-hand side. So I'll check the articles that I want to take over to EndNote. And once you select articles, you'll see this little three-dot option here open up. And one of the options here is to export to RIS. So I'm going to download that file. And depending on your browser, you should see a little file come down here to the bottom. So now I have my file. I can't do anything with this yet. I need to go into EndNote now. So from here, if I haven't already registered to use EndNote, I'll do that first on the right-hand side. If I've already registered, though, I can just log in on the left-hand side. And this is how EndNote looks the first time that you use it. So you see I have no references or any groups over here. So the first thing I want to do is I want to bring that file into EndNote. So I'm going to go to the top in this gray ribbon. There's the word collect. I'm going to hover over that and then select import references. So I'm going to come and I'm going to choose the file. And you can see here it takes me to my downloads folder where I can see the files that I've downloaded. So I see Primo RIS Export 1, which matches what I just downloaded in the bottom. I also see under type here that it's an RIS file. So you can see the extension here and you can see the type. So we know that's an RIS file. So we'll select it. And then for import option, you want to match the option to the file extension. So for an RIS file, we're going to want to scroll down till we see RefMan RIS. You may see more options than this, but just scroll till you see RefMan RIS. And then the first time you'll have to select your own group or have it as unfiled. I always like to have my files go directly into the group that I'd like, so I'm going to click New Group and then Import. At this point then it's going to prompt me to name that group. So I'm going to name it Gestational Diabetes. And then I can see 3 references were imported into gestational diabetes. So I can either click the link right here to the group, or I can go back to my references. And it will show me the 3 articles that I brought over from library search into EndNote. So they are now here in this group called gestational diabetes. Let's go back to the library homepage now, and I'm going to show you another database. CINAHL Complete also uses the RIS format to export citations. So I'm going to click CINAHL, run my search for gestational diabetes. Now in CINAHL, when we want to select articles, instead of clicking on the left-hand side, there's this little blue file with a plus. If we'd like to hang on to the article, we can just highlight that, and it brings it up here to this little folder icon on the top in the blue ribbon. If we click on that once we're done, it'll show us the articles that we've marked, and then over here on the right, you'll see the icon to export. So we're going to export, and we're going to do direct export in RIS format and click Save. And you can see again, it dropped it down here. So we'll do the same thing. We'll go back into EndNote, go to Collect again, import references. We'll choose that new file that I just downloaded. Again, we can see it's an RIS file. So we'll pick RefMan RIS. Then we will put this into the gestational diabetes group that I just created. So now again, if we click here, we should see 5 articles. So there are the 3 that were imported earlier, and then the 2 that we just added from CINAHL. Now we're going to look at the NLM import, which stands for National Library of Medicine, and this import option is available through PubMed. The mechanism is pretty much the same, it's just that the options are different for the drop-down menus. So again, let's go to the library homepage, and we'll scroll down to PubMed, and I'll run my search again. So now, just like in library search, we can select articles by clicking the button on the side. And you'll see here, once I start selecting items, I get a little green notice here that tells me how many items I've selected. And when I'm done, I click this little send to button, and I'm going to send it to my clipboard. So the clipboard allows you to keep searching and to add things from your searches until you're done. And then when you're done, you can click the little link that was created for clipboard. And now we're going to send these to the citation manager. So we'll hit send to again, send to citation manager. And we want to create citations for all of the results on this page. So we'll create the file. And now you'll see this time the file that was created says PubMed 333.713.NBIB. That shows me that it's not the RIS format that we worked with before. This is the National Library of Medicine Bibliographic Management, so it is a PubMed. So we're going to go back into EndNote. Again, we're going to follow the same mechanism for importing these. So we'll choose our file. That's that PubMed file. And now you can see here when you see the file type, this is an RIS file, this is an NBIB file. So if it's not an RIS file and it's an NBIB file, you're going to want to use that PubMed format. So let's select this article. And now under import option, there's an option for PubMed, NLM. We're going to select that method instead. And then we're going to put it right into the same folder with the other articles that we found. So now 3 articles were imported into gestational diabetes group again. So now here we can see all of the articles. They're all here. And anytime I come back in here, I can go to this gestational diabetes group. And I can find the articles that I had saved previously and get the citation information that I need. Please watch the other videos in the series in order to find out more tools and tips for using EndNote. And if at any point you ever run into any questions, don't be afraid to ask. Good luck!